What is up, my dudes? My name is Ty, and today it is New Year's Eve. I've been away for a while. For 1 week, I was spending a lot of time with some friends who I knew I wouldn't see in person for a really long time, so I was spending the extra time I had from not recording videos to hang out with them for a while. And then I went home for a week to my family in Texas, and so it was a great time to see them. I'm really grateful for it. But today we are going to be playing Getting Over It to just have some fun with it, talk about the new year, things like that. Getting Over It is a game known for rage. I don't know if I'll be really too upset by it or not. I probably won't. It's just not the kind of person I am. But I've seen plenty of people try to get through this game and go pretty fast. So the whole idea is you play as this guy in a cauldron, and you use a sledgehammer to maneuver around, and you start getting difficult environments to maneuver around, like this, like this. There we go. Okay, easy does it, killer. Not quite what we need here. Alrighty. So it's the new year. It's it's December 31st. It will be January 1st for me in about 6 hours. For other people, it's already the new year, and I think that it's interesting seeing, we're going into 2020, which is the start of a new decade. So it's
There's no
interesting.
feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is harder than starting up. If you're not ready for that, like if you've already had a bad day, then what you're about to go through might be too much. Feel free to go away and come back. I'll be here.
Alrighty. Good to know, Bennett.
All right. Thanks for coming with me on this trip.
Alright.
I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point. Just find a safe place to stop and quit the game. And don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes.
Thanks, man.
This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment of a B game. It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery. And the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game.
Back there.
It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of your reach and your strength, trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real.
Alright. Yeah, so we're at the end of a decade. Thank you, Bennett, for that interlude. And it's interesting to think about how long a decade is. When it started, I was 12, and I don't even know what I wanted to do. I might have still wanted to be an astronaut or something when I was 12. I know I didn't want to do things with technology quite yet. I'll use that arm strength. But yeah, it's a decade's a long time. And I'm thankful for the growth I've had and the people I've gotten to spend it with.
Oh, you just lost a lot of progress. That's a deep frustration, a real punch in the gut.
Is it though? Because you can always climb back up again. Also, I'm pretty amazed at how fast that went. I don't think I can do that from there, but I need to, apparently. That wasn't bad. Yeah. So, I don't, if you want to toast with me, you're welcome to. I don't drink alcohol, and I don't have wine glasses, so I have apple juice in a beer mug. So, cheers. That would be a hefty drink if that was true. No!
Oof, sorry about that.
Why are you sorry?
Oh, it happened again. Keep on trying, don't let it get to you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so he was talking earlier about going through traffic, and I started nodding. And that's because earlier today I left my badge to get into work at home. Luckily, this isn't the first time, and I can just get a temp badge while I'm there for the day. But I try to avoid doing that too often. But yeah, it could be real unfortunate. Because I could imagine my commute's only about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 to 25 on like a heavy traffic time. And I'm usually like, I don't want to make that drive again. Especially since you'd be driving all the time to get back home to get your badge or whatever you need.
This thing that we call failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Mary Pickford.
Let's go, Miss Pickford. Or Mrs., or whatever you're choosing to be called. I think that's true. Because eventually you get back up again. Ooh. Goodbye, Red Solo Cup. Looks like a party. Oh, such upper body strength. Cool. Nope. Oh, yeah. I turned the music off here because I don't know what's copyrighted and what's not. So, yeah, I turned the music off. But a lot of what I wanted to say was just that, it's a new year, and with the new year, I think what I want to try to do is to upload over the course of the year 366 videos. That is one every day because it's a leap year. And a fallback option to that is to produce whatever that minus 102 or 104, excuse me, is. because that would be a video for every weekday. And I think that's a good goal to have. I'd like to produce more videos. I think so far it's been fun producing them. Whoop. And so that's what I'd like to do, is try to have those goals. I'll probably try to hurry up and do some more Minecraft as well. I still need to do some more play of it off camera, because it looks like for a little bit I'm going to get to a bit of a farming part, and that might not be as fun to watch or for me to commentate over. If people disagree and they really want to see me do that, I might try to see if I can like stream it or something like that and just put the recording up. But the point of that, though, is that it'll be a bit of a longer thing. I'll probably be like an hour or two, and I won't have the pressure of trying to talk for that long. Also, I know this game looks easier than it is to control. Like, this hammer barely moves. In fact, can I... Let's see how this works. Oh, nope, other direction. Oh my god. And the cauldron's full of water too. Like, this is... Can you imagine lifting this weight with your arms? Okay, new strategy. Gonna pop. Nice. Okay. Nope. Don't. No. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Okay, let's try to go to the right. This one's a bit of a quieter game. The idea is to really let the emotions of failure really get to you. There's also, this isn't like the newest game as well. Like, you can find playthroughs of this all over the internet. So, if you're in it for the true like gaming content of what this game has to offer, you can probably find that without commentary online pretty easily. And people who are way better at the game than I am.
The obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazzuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real.
Nope, 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 nope. What if I just mine? Look, guys, it's Minecraft. Whoop. Okay. I think if I do another big fall, I might end the video on that. I know that this video doesn't have as much talking as a lot of the videos I've been doing, but the point was just to, you know, lay out my plans of what I want to do, really enter into the new decade, things like that. And I'm thankful to everyone who's been on the ride with me so far. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what comes next for this channel. That didn't work. Well, that didn't work either. Bennett Foddy is also famous for another game called QWOP. And in that game...
The soul would have no rainbow, had the eyes no tears. John Vance Cheney.
Right? Well, that was pretty cool. Yeah, so he's famous for another game called QWOP. And in that game, you play as a sprinter doing like a 100-meter sprint. And you have 4 controls. It is Q, W, and OP. And thus the reason for the name of the game. Ooh, that's scary. Oh my goodness. And in that game, you want, like, 2 of the buttons control your left and right thigh, and 2 of the buttons control your left and right calf. And it's pretty hard. Or at least it's pretty odd for a control scheme. And that seems to be Bennett Foddy's forte, is using weird control schemes.
When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas. And that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with, and in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world. Not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas.
Oh no. Oh! I almost just slammed my hammer into the top rock there. Thunk, 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 thunk. The upper body strength on this guy, though. That's why he really needs the cauldron, is he skipped leg day too many times. Like, he's up here using all his arm strength, and he has his tiny little legs in that cauldron, because that's it. They're so much smaller in comparison. Okay, if I really maneuver here, sit down gently. Oh, man. Alright, time to go.
The pain I feel now is the happiness I had before. That's the deal. C.S. Lewis.
He's a good author. He makes some pretty interesting books, like Screwtape Letters and some other things. Anyway, I said I would end the video here. I don't have much else to say, so thank you guys, and until we meet again.